Hey folks, and welcome to another Blue Player solo playthrough, and I have something extremely special for you this time. This time we are looking at Rurik, Dawn of Kiev. Now this is a game that plays 1 to 4 players, and today we're going to be specifically looking at the solo game. Now as of the recording of this video, this game is currently on Kickstarter. There should be a link below, but I know lots of people have been asking for a solo playthrough to see how the game plays. Now, you do set up the game very similar to setting up a 2-player game with a few exceptions. The AI player, which is going to be this character here, who's going to be leading a rebellion against us, is going to have this special rebellion board. We're still going to be playing with the normal board, and we're always going to be first player. In addition, we're going to have these cards here that are going to dictate the priority of how the AI player goes. Beyond that, the game basically plays the exact same, with some differences that I will point out as we're playing through it. Now, as always, this is a Kickstarter, so this is a prototype copy, so keep in mind what you see may not be final production quality, and I know they've already made a few changes, such as this here has been changed to, I believe, Volin now, and these are, I believe, 3D printed miniatures, so a lot of that will change once you get your final copy. I do have, in addition, some other sheets here that will show us certain things along the way, but we're just going to dive right in and start playing. Now, I'm assuming that you've got an idea of how the game plays, but if not, this should still give you a good idea of how the rules are. So we're going to start out by, we're going to take actions over here on this board, or rather we're going to place things in auction programming, as they're calling it. It's a really neat mechanism that I like. And then we're going to resolve those in reverse order. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. So starting with me, I'm going to get to put one of mine out here and determine where I want to put it. So I'm looking out on the board, and I'm here and here, and I see that what I have for my thing is to steam to have most troop and land, so I know how that's how I want to play out at the end of the game. So I'm going to maybe take my 2 here, and I think I'm going to start out by taxing. So I'm going to try to do a tax. Now he is starting out establishing control as his priority. Now what's interesting about these cards is what we're going to do is we're going to actually slide up the bottom card, and it's going to tell us what he's going to do. We're going to establish control, and he's going to use his 2 in movement. So we're going to take that and we're going to put it here in the move. Then we'll move back to me. I know I'm going to want to muster, but I'm afraid of doing that too early and him causing me to not be able to do it when I want. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to try to build with the 4 here. So we'll go back here and see what he's going to do. It's going to be his 5, and he is going to build as well. Now, if he needed to, because it has a coin symbol, he would pay to knock me down, but because he's playing a high number, he will not need to do that. So that's fine. I'm not too concerned with that. I'm going to take my 1 now, and I'm going to scheme. Scheme means that I'm going to be able to pull some cards from over here. We will slide down. The 3 is something he doesn't have yet. The 1, so he's going to do a 1 to scheme, which works differently for him in the solo game, and I'll explain when we get to that. And then my 5. Now I'm pretty sure he's going to try to muster, but so am I. He has a 4. I'm hoping he's not going to pay. So we'll slide down. His 4 is muster. I was correct, but because it doesn't have a coin, he's going to come in here to the second one. Now we're going to take the card and we're going to slide it up top because it's going to then give us some more information that we may need during the round. Now that's complete. We're going to go ahead and resolve these now in ascending order. Starting with me, since I will always be the first player, I'm going to scheme. So I'm going to bring off my 1 here, and I'm going to choose one of these 2 stacks to draw the top 3 cards for, since that's the one I chose. And I'm going to get to keep one of these. Now these have actions on them. So this one here, I get an attack and a coin. This I get a tax. This I get a muster and a coin. I'm going to go ahead and take this one. And what's interesting is then I get to take these and put them in any order I want on top of that stack. So I will have an idea of what's there for later during attacks for casualty purposes. Moving on to his number 1, he's scheming as well, but his scheming is a little different in that it's actually just going to allow him to take one of these off, creating him a new bonus. So now in addition to him getting additional muster, he also, when he takes attack, will get 1 additional attack. Moving on to my 2, I'm going to tax, and it is a double tax. Now the way that works is if I rule a land, meaning I have the majority, then I only need to use one of these wheelbarrows to tax. If I don't have the majority, then I need two. But in this case, I'm only present here, so I will get to tax here, and I'm going to tax here. And that'll use that up. We'll move to his 2. Now he's going to move. Now move for him is dictated by a set of rules and a set of location order. He's always going to move to a place that he isn't present in, according to that, and he's going to try to rule it, and he's going to move from the closest land. Now when I'm moving, one space is a movement. For him, it's just moving there. It doesn't matter how many spaces he's moving. So we're going to look out here and we see Kiev, he's already present in. Volin, so this he is not present in. And he cannot, but he can't actually get in there to do it, but he'd still do. So he's got, what do we see? He has 3 move. So he's going to probably move 1 into there. Actually, he would move this into there. Well, the thing is, he can't take that over, but he can take the majority from me. So he would move this. That's going to give him that. And then, actually, he would probably go into ruling it. So he would move into here. Now this is something, the movement's something they're still playing with a little bit. I was speaking with Kirk from Peacekeeper Games earlier, and we kind of determined that they would kind of move until they had a ruling, that they would always go for ruling. So that's the way I'm going to roll with that. So moving to my 4 here, I'm now going to build, and I have 1 build and it follows the same rules, but I no longer have majority here. So actually I'm going to build here, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build, it's not going to do me much good to build the market, because a market's going to allow me to tax more, unless I wanted to generate coin off of it. I think I'm just going to build a stronghold, because that, or a fortress rather, because that will count as a troop and can also cause them to have to draw more scheme cards. Then we're going to move to his 4, which is to muster, and remember he does get a bonus for it, so he's actually going to muster 3. And that's going to follow the same sort of rules. When he musters, he's going to do it based on priority order, and he's also going to do it where he doesn't rule. Now, currently he rules everywhere he is. Yes. So he's, well, actually, yes, he rules here. So instead, we're just going to go in order. Kiev, he would do 1 in. Volin, he would do 1 in, and Perasavl. I do apologize, I cannot pronounce these names very well. Now I'm going to muster, and that's going to give me 3 muster, and I can do this anywhere I am. Now here he has 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 2. If I mustered all 3 in here, then I take back ruling that land. So that's how I'm going to do that. We'll do his last one for build. He's going to gain 2 of those. And again, following those same rules, but I think he's going to build 2 things because he can. Because he has ruling here and ruling here. And if he builds a, well, actually, he's going to build it based on rules. Let's go over here. So he is trying to establish control. So he would build a church first if there was troops to do, of which he doesn't rule here, so it would cost him both. Actually, he would build here with the church, because if he does that, he can convert one of my troops into one of his, thus taking back the ruling. But because he didn't rule there, it would use both of his builds. Okay, so that's going to complete out that part. Now we're going to move to the claim to the throne phase. Now this is something that is a little different in the solo game versus the full game, because I'm going to still be doing things the same, but he's going to be doing things a little different. So I'll do mine first. First, I'm going to be looking for ruling. Well, I only rule 1 land, so I'm not going to be moving there. Then I'm going to be looking for buildings in 2 adjacent lands. I don't have that. Looking for goods on boats. I don't have that. And I did not do any attacking. So therefore, nothing happens for me over there. Moving on to him. He does currently rule 1, 2, 3, 4 lands. So what's happened is he's currently doing established control. So this is going to come off and put him here. And that's going to open up a new bonus for him. When he takes a move action, he gets an additional move action. For 2 adjacent lands, he doesn't have, and for goods on a boat, he doesn't have, and of course, no one attacked. Now I get to claim a deed card, and I think I'm going to take this one. This is something that I can resolve later in order to gain something. You know what? Actually, I don't like that one. I think instead I'm going to take this one. All right, so that will complete that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to gain income. Now for me, that's going to be based on filled things and number of discs. Well, I have no discs that are currently out, so I get one for each, so I will gain 4 income. He gains based on boats and then always gains 2. The reason for this is because coins can be worth points to him at the end of the game, and he can't complete these agendas. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to clear these 2 out, laying out 3 new ones. So I've got these here. These will be available. We're going to refill any lands that were taxed, of which I believe this fish was, and that iron. Everything else is fine. And then one other thing that will happen in the solo game that doesn't happen in the regular is checking to see what his next priority would be. So first we'll see if I'm present in more lands than the rebellion. Well, we already know that's not true. Then we'll see if I have more adjacent buildings. Well, I don't. Then we'll see if I have more goods in the boat. Well, I do. Now, since that's the case, he's going to move his priority to gathering support. So we will move him over to here. The last thing we will do is advance the round marker, and we will begin the next round. Now I'm playing a little fast here, and I'm also playing this not optimally. I mean, that was not a good round for me, but I'll try to make things a little better as we move along. All right, so this round, what do I want to do? He's going to try to gather support, which means I assume he's going to try to do more mustering than anything. So maybe what I'm going to try to do is I still want to fill this up though. I do still have control here. I think I'm going to go right in for taxing, but I'm going to do it with a 2. You know, I'm going to do it with a 1. He is probably going to push that down, but that's fine. So we will move tack to his cards and do the same thing we did last time. And this says he's gathering support, so he's actually going to scheme with his 1. Moving to me, I feel like he's going to muster with a 4. I feel like maybe getting out of here wouldn't be the worst idea. I think I'm going to try to move with my 5. All right, we'll move down. He is going to build with his 4. Didn't see that happening. Let's see. I could try to build 2. Maybe if I took my 2, I still feel like he's going to muster. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to muster, and I'm going to muster with the 2. All right, move down. So that's his 2. He's going to tax, and that's a 2, so it's going to push me down. And then I have my 4. I was really hoping he'd use the 5 beforehand, but he didn't. I think I'm going to try attacking. And I feel like he's going to muster. That's a 3, which we don't have. And there's the 2. We don't have that one. You know what? I think we messed up here. Hold on. So let me go back. So that's the 2. That's the special 2. Yes, so actually when he did his 2, he wouldn't have taxed. Instead, he actually would have done his 2 on mustering, of which I had not done yet. And now he will do his 5 on tax. So there we go. I forgot that these 2 have the asterisk on them. It's possible that maybe that's supposed to be in a different order, but I think I'm going to let it go. Okay, so we'll put this over here, and then I will start resolving. So I will do my 1 of a tax. I'm going to pull from here because I have majority, and that's going to get me up. Then he's going to scheme, so it's going to give him this, and that's going to give him an extra tax now when he taxes. My 2 is going to be this mustering. That sounds right. I think I did the 4 and then the 2. I could be wrong, but it's fine. It's at worst, it's going to give him 1 extra troop. So I will do the 2. It'll give me 3 mustering. And I'm actually just going to muster here. I'm kind of going to abandon this area completely. And that's also making up for the fact that I'm not sure if I messed up his mustering. So he's going to then muster. He gets the extra bonus, so that you give him 3 units. So we're going to look and see how he's stacked up. Now he does have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here to my 4, so he's good. And everywhere else he's fine. So he's just going to muster in order. So we will muster, he can't muster here. Next is here, then here, and then finally here. So that will be his mustering. Moving to my attack here, and this I just wanted to show you how this works. I'm going to be attacking here because it will actually allow me to show you attacking a player. So I have 2 attacks. I'm going to attack here. That's going to automatically remove one of his. Now because he had majority, I'm going to need to draw 2 cards from this deck. Now if I remembered right, I should know where it is, but I don't remember. So I'm going to choose to pull from here. And what I'm checking for is to see if I get a casualty. So flip first, I don't get a casualty. Flip the second, I do take a casualty. So one of my guys is gone. However, what's nice about attacking him versus attacking these neutrals out here is I get to move on to the warfare track. Now I still have 1 more attack. I could attack him again, not the worst thing in the world, or I could just toss out a neutral. You know what, I'm gonna attack him again, because why not? So he will remove a troop, and we will check. And I'm gonna risk this deck again. And we take a casualty right off the bat. And if you hit a casualty, then you don't draw the additional card. All right, so will go here, this will go here, and that will still push me up 1 more on this track. Then he will do a build action, which he gets 2 there, and he doesn't have any bonuses. Now he's going to land. He's going to try this somewhere that he has ruling in order. So Polotsk is the one that I have, right? Yep. Kiev. So this is where he's going to try to build the first thing. And when we look over here, he's gathering support. So he's going to build a market. For his second build, it's going to be this land here. And again, it's going to be a market. Now we have my move action, of which did not work out for me at all. But I do get 3 moves, so I think what I'm going to try to do, but I do get 3 moves, so I think I'm going to try to maximize this to get me really, at least in a better position. So I'm going to move 1, 2 there. I think I'm going to leave this guy behind. And the reason being, if we can move Maria though, because Maria has a special ability that she can muster a troop in an adjacent land even if she doesn't have troops there. And I should have done that last turn, but I didn't. You know what? That's going to make up for that mistake that I think we might have made one way or the other. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Maria here. All right, hold on. So if I only move 1 troop, that's one of my move. And then I move Maria for 2. And then I move this one. And I'm going to move this one for the 3, and then I'm going to use her free muster to muster here, so we now rule there. All right, now he is going to tax, of which is going to work out great because he has markets. So he's going to go in order. We have Polotsk again, then Kiev here. This, he's going to get this, and because he has a market, he's going to get an additional one. And then it's going to be here, and same sort of thing. He's going to get this, and then he's going to get an additional, or a coin. But because coins are victory points for him, it makes more sense for him to take the coin because this is already full, and the additional pelt won't do him any good. Now, he also gets 1 additional taxing because of his bonus, so he would tax that one here. So he would also take this honeycomb. That was very useful for him. Okay, we have now hit the end of a round and we will move to claim the throne. Now this time I am in 2 locations. So I will move onto the board here. He has buildings in 3 adjacent lands. So he will come off from here and go onto the board here. I, on the other hand, do not. I have 3 goods on the boat, so I will move onto here. And he has 3 goods on the boat, so we will circle around and he will take from here. Okay, I'm going to collect a deed, of which I'm going to take Generous Prince. I feel like I should have used that. These 2 will go away. We will collect 3 new ones to put out and make them available. And then we will generate our income, of which for me that will be 1 2 coins. For him it will be 2 3 coins because he does have the pelt area completely filled. So we'll give him his. Now we're going to check to see what the priority will be. If I'm present in more lands, which I am not. If I have more buildings, I do not. And if I have more goods, of which we are even, which means we're actually going to move the priority to Incite Rebellion as the default. We're going to move into round 3, which means we are now going to receive these to add to our worker pool. This is not looking good for me. In fact, I feel like I'm losing horribly. You would not believe that this is the 3rd time I have tried this tonight, playing this game, just to see how the game played solo. And I've won one of them. It's probably not going to be this one. Okay, so starting with me, I am trying to figure out, I really need to muster a lot. He's inciting rebellion, which means he's probably going to muster, but he only has those. So I'm going to put a 2 in the muster. And let's go ahead and see what he's going to do. So we'll slide the card up. Inciting rebellion means that he is going to spend his 5 in building. That's nice, but not today. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my 5 with a coin and bribe my way to the top. So now we'll check him. His 1 is going to give him a boot. So, or movement rather, so he'll spend that here. No coin. I, on the other hand, am going to spend a 2 to scheme. I have an idea. You know what? Yes, I'm going to spend a 2 to scheme. All right, we're going to move down the list here. His 2, he's going to go into attack mode. And then he has a 4 and a 2. I can now go into a column I'm already in. That would be 1 2 3. I'm going to muster. And he is going to muster with that 2. But for him, that's going to go in here. Now, for he does not pay these coin costs down here. I have my 1 left, so the thing that I want to do first. And I believe that thing that I want to do first is tax. And I just noticed that we didn't refill in these slots. So we'll do that real quick before we have to actually tax. We should make sure there are actually goods there because these refill between rounds. All right, and then his last one is a 4 where he will scheme and he will push me down on that track. All right, we'll flip this over and we will see what happens. All right, starting with my 1, I will tax. That's going to give me 2 taxes, and I am in areas where it does. So I'm going to take this good, and I know it doesn't seem like it, but I actually want it for other purposes. So I'm going to throw that on the dock, and I'm going to take this wood, and I'm going to put it here. Moving on to his 1, he is going to move, which he gets the bonus, so he actually will have 4 movements. In order, we have Smolensk, which he's already in. We have this one, which is the one he's going to try to move in. So he's going to move from the closest. Now moving from here, he can leave behind 1. So, and it says he always moves this guy. So he's going to move in with this one. That's for 1. He's going to move in here, 2, 3, 4. Now this was a choice, and I made the choice. So next up will be my 2 now, because there are multiple 2s. Now this made this a 6, but it goes back to being a 5 now. Since I have the 2 2s, I can choose. I'm going to choose to take the one for scheming. So I'm going to take from this pile, and I'm going to draw 2 cards because I'm in the second slot. And I have a build and a sword. I'm going to take the sword, and I'm going to send the build, which I now know is not a casualty. I'm going to send it to the top of the deck. His 2, he's going to choose based on the one that's higher on the card. Well, for him, that was the one in the attack slot. So this is the one. He's going to get 2 attacks. He's going to get 3 attacks. Now, it depends for attacking where he's at. He's currently in Site Rebellion, which means he's going to attack in location order where it has troops but doesn't rule, then where he rules. So here he has 1, 2, 3, 4 to my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is probably where he's going to attack, and also he could attack here. But we'll go in order. So Smolensk and Paul. So this is where he's going to attack, and he's always going to choose me first. So I'm going to lose one of my troops. Now because he rules, I don't add 1. Whenever he's there in attack, he flips 1 less card. But because I have a fortress, he's still going to have to flip 1. Well, I know that this one here is not a casualty, so I'm going to hope this one is, and it is not. So that's going to be an attack for him, and because he's now moving onto the track, that happened. So that's his first attack. His second attack, we would do the exact same thing, and the same rules would apply. I'm going to risk it again. He did not lose a troop. He will move up the track, and now he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to my 1, 2, 3, 4. He now rules there. So he would move on to this one, and this will just come off the board. And he does not get warfare for that. All right, so now we're going to move to my other 2, which is going to be to muster. And I really need to figure out how I'm going to do this. So that's going to give me 2 muster. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to muster here, giving me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to his 1, 2, or actually, I'm sorry, giving me 7 to his 3. I'm going to spend this card here to gain a coin and an attack. And I'm going to attack him. So we're going to pull off one of his troops. Because I have a fortress, I'm going to get 1 additional scheme. And because of the fact that I rule, I'm going to get 1. So it's actually going to be 3 cards. Wait, let me rephrase that. It's actually going to be 1 card for me because there's nothing causing me to have an additional card. The additional card thing would happen only if he was attacking me because I rule and because I have the fortress. But this is where it plays in because I know that I made this card not be. So we're good to go. And I will move up 1 on the track. All right, now we will do his 2, which will be a muster. And again, same rules apply. He can muster 2. He's going to muster here because he doesn't rule there. Got a little fight going on here. Moving on to my 4, I am going to muster. This is getting really interesting. I'm actually going to use Maria's ability to muster into here, and then I'm going to muster 2 more. And then I still have 1 more muster, I believe. No, I think that's it. Okay, next would be... Oh, no, it would have been because it would have been at the top. So I do have another muster. I'll muster here. All right, so now it will be his 4. He will scheme. However, he doesn't have a reason to scheme because he pulled that off. But he does get 2 coins for it now. Now he has all of his bonuses. This is going to be really interesting. I'm going to pull off my 5 and build. And this is where I think I'm going to build a church. I'm going to build that church here, converting his troop into one of mine because I rule it. And then I still have one more build, of which I'm going to build... I'm going to build a church, converting this guy. Oh, don't have a guy, so I'm not going to build a church. I will build a fortress. And then he is going to do a build, of which he gets a bonus for doing so. So he has 2 build available. He doesn't rule here. 1, 2, I should probably straighten this up. So he has 5 troops to my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 troops. So he is going to build there if he can. And he is an incite rebellion, which means he's going to favor a fortress. So he will build a fortress there using his 2. All right, and that's going to complete that round. Maybe a little better for me that time. We'll see. So let's go ahead and start looking at the throne board here. So I currently rule in 1, 2, 3 lands, so I will move up on that. I have buildings in 1, 2, 3 adjacent lands, so I finally move on to that track. I have 4 goods on the boat, which isn't enough to change that because I can't put this good on there. And the warfare track hasn't changed, so now we'll look at him. Now he currently rules 1, 2, 3 lands, so he stays in place. He has buildings in 1, 2, 3, 4 adjacent, so he will go up on that. He has 3 goods on the boat, so he doesn't change there. So real quick, I will choose a deed, and I really do need to start paying attention to using those. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try this market day. This could be an interesting one to try to do. It is worth 2 points. So we'll kill these off. Put out some new ones. And we'll go ahead and get our income. For him, that's gonna be the 2 and then 1 additional, so he's going to gain 3, essentially giving him a victory point, because again, he's there. For me, I'm going to get 1 here, and I think that, yep, it's going to be it. I get 1. But I have some money to play with. Let's go ahead and refill any lands that need refilling. I think just this one. What a mess over there. That needs that. Oh, we have wood that needs to be put into here. I should have built markets now that I'm thinking about it. It's okay. I think I can pull that off. All right, so let's go ahead and check for what he's going to do. This shouldn't be here. We're not using these outer lands. All right, so if I'm present in more lands, well, I'm currently in 3, and he is in 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's not that. More buildings adjacent. He has 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 3, so it's not going to be that. More goods in my boat, which we are tied for. Therefore, he's going to stay in Incite Rebellion. So let's go ahead and move into the final round. So we move here. We'll each get our last worker added to our pool. And let's begin. So I know I still need to worry about having more troops. So I need to really muster and spread out. So I'm going to go straight in for, because I think he's going to attack, but I think I'm going to go for a movement. I want to try to dominate the movement if I can, but depends on what he does. So going down the list here, he's inciting rebellion, so he's going to do an attack with his 5, which means I am actually... I don't think it's going to hurt me to attack him. I don't think the attacking really helps me. I was thinking I might pay out of it. And he's going to attack last. I actually don't like that. It's really mean and hurtful. You know what? I'm going to try to scheme. I'm going to see how that works out. So now we'll move to him. His 2 is going to scheme, so he's going to go here. And then I really wish he was attacking earlier. I'm going to try to, you know what, we have to do this market day thing. So I need to rule in enough lands to build. So I'm going to do the 5 there and hope that he's not going to pay me out of it. So next, he's going to do a move with a 1, but he's going to buy me out, which means he's going to need to spend 3 coins to turn it into a 4. Which means I am actually going to knock myself out of the move just so he can't do anything about it. Then he's going to use his 3 to build, which is going to put it here. I am still worried that I won't have the troops spread out enough. I just need to be in more areas than him. I think I do have an attack there. The market day I think I'm going to be okay with. So I think I'm going to... Taxing is not really going to do any good at this point. Mustering early is no good because I don't have the troops. I can't move. Might scheme again just to see how that works out for me. And I am going to do it, but I'm going to scheme to there. And then he will use his 2 on swords. Not pretty. And then I will use my 2. Well, if he's going to use a 2 there on swords, then I will actually muster. And then he's going to use his 4 to muster, pushing me down. All right, so that takes care of that. We will remove these coins because they are no longer needed, because the numbers are all that matter. And we will begin, starting with my 1. I will be scheming. I'm going to pull from this deck 3 cards. And hope I get really good things. I have 2 coins, a muster, and an attack. I think I'm going to take the muster just... Thing is, by the time he does this attack, I'll have already done this. But the coins aren't going to do me any good. I'm going to take the muster anyway, but we'll see how that works out. These 2 I know are not going to be anything, casualties, so I'm going to put them on top and remember that I know that that deck is safe. Moving to his 1, he's going to make some moves. So in order, we've got, this is where he's going to try to move into. He's got 3, 4 moves. So he would come into here, he'd come into here, here. Well, actually he has that now, so now he rolls it. So he wouldn't come into that. Actually, he probably would have done that. And then he would move into here. That's 3, and he would bring in this guy. Okay, that's going to give him his 4 moves. And then we're going to do my 2, and I'm going to do my scheme again. I'm going to pull from here. 1, 2, because I'm in the 2 slot. I have moves and musters, but I also like the fact that that has a casualty that I could stack on top. But I'm going to take the moves because I think I'm going to need them. So I'm going to stack this over here knowing that it's not a casualty again. Then he's going to do his based on the priority here, so his 2 will be the scheme, which for him simply means gaining 2 coins, which he will do because, again, these could be points for him. And then my 2 is going to be forfeited because it's a muster. I thought that he would attack me. I should have paid attention to the order. So this does me no good because I have nothing. So I just get a coin for it, but I am going to go ahead and do a deed while I'm at it. So that's going to give me 4 coins. But again, I don't have it because of the muster. But I only have 3 of those left. Can I even do this one? No. Okay, so actually I'm going to hold off because then I'll muster right after, because this one I'm not going to be able to do anyway, as I don't have a pelt. So moving to his, I took the coin. His 2 here is an attack, and he's going to get 2 attacks. This is why holding this will be good for me. So he's incite rebellion, so he's going to go where he has troops but doesn't rule first. Here he has 1, 2, 3, he has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, he's not even going to attack me there first. He's actually going to go here first, which does nothing. and then he's going to attack me there, and he has the majority. And interesting. Okay, so he will attack me. I will lose a troop. He will go up on the track. Because I have a fortress, that's going to cause him to flip 2, but because he's using his leader, he's only going to flip 1. So I'm going to only flip 1 card and hope. And it has nothing. So he loses nothing. And that will be his 2 attacks. Oh, actually, he wouldn't have even flipped a card because he has a special ability. So, but since we already know what it is, we won't flip it. I would have had to undo it anyway. All right, so now it's back to me. I'm going to use my 3 here where I'm going to get a movement. And this is where I'm going to need to decide how I want to play this out. I do have this muster here, but this is really nice. And I can only do it right at the end sort of thing. So for movement, I'm going to move a troop. I'm going to move a troop here. And I'm going to use this card. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and cash this in. So I'm going to do this, which gives me 4. I have to turn in 4 to pay its cost. It's going to give me 2 musters and an accomplished deed. I'm only going to get 1 muster out of it. I'm going to muster it here. And then I'm going to spend this, which is going to give me 3 movements. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. And that will spend that. Okay, now we're going to do his 3 here, where he is going to, I think that was build. Yep, he's going to build, which means he will get 2 build. He doesn't have majority, so he doesn't have anywhere that he rules without a building. But he does have somewhere that he rules without a thing. So actually, he would try to build a fortress there. And that will spend both of his build actions. We will move to my number 4, which is more movement. Just trying to spread myself out. I don't think I've used Maria's ability. So I'm going to make this interesting. I'm going to use, oh, I can't because I don't have the troops for it. I think I'm going to move here and here. I would like to get another troop here. I don't think I have the ability to get a troop where I want it to be. Because he's really going to put a hurt on me with the attacks here in a bit. I think this would just end up being a sacrificial pawn. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not going to use the whole thing. But I do need to see, this is going to be this. I have this. I think I'm going to take the attack. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do it here. Oh, wait, if I had moved here, though, I know how that's stacked up. You know what? I am going to move a troop now because I don't want to do that. I kind of just want that 1 extra attack. I don't want to push him out. You know what? So I'm still going to go with the attack there. So I'm using this card. He's going to lose a troop. I'm going to go up on the track, and then I'm going to draw for my damage, of which I already knew would be fine. So now I own that land. All right, so looking at his 4, he's going to muster 3, 4 on the muster. So he's going to go anywhere first that he doesn't rule. Well, he rules, he definitely rules, and he rules. So then he's going to just do them in location order. So first he'll start with here. Then he'll do here, he doesn't have. Rostov, he doesn't have. Polotsk, he puts another one in. Kiev, yeah, so that was good. Novro, he's not there. And here. So that will be his setup for that. And now I will do my build. Now I have 2 for the build there. And I really want to make sure that I get this right, because I need to get, oh, I couldn't have done it anyway. I didn't have enough markets. Wait, I might, because I have this ability here. Okay, so I'm first going to build using one of the builds here because I own here, and that's going to get me wood. I'm going to build here because I have that, and that's going to get me that. And then I'm going to spend this good plus one of any other good to generate a build. And in doing so, I will be able to place it here, thus giving me fish, iron, and wood. And in doing so, I'm going to go ahead and claim this deed. Market day in lands with 3 different goods, which is going to give me a scheme with 2, but I'm really more interested in the fact that it's 2 victory points. But I will go ahead and pull from this deck. I will pull 2 cards. That is a coin for a build and a coin for an attack. Ooh, I don't hate that. Oh well, it actually doesn't matter. But I know that these are not, so I'm going to put them here. Hopefully this is going to work against us. Okay, so now his last turn, he's going to attack. He's going to get 2 attacks there, 3 attacks, and remember that he flips 1 less card. So for his thing, he's going to look for places where he doesn't rule because he is inciting rebellion. Here, he has ruling. Here, 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 so that's not going to do. So now he's going to move on to places where he does rule. So we're going to look at Shura. So this is where he's going to attack because it's first in the list. And he'll keep attacking until, but he has 2, 3. So first, I remove a troop. And then he is going to need to flip 1 card, which we will hope he takes a casualty. And that will move him up on the track. Then he will attack me again. Flip a card. No casualty. He will move up on the track again. I think that actually moves him past me now. And then he has 1 more attack, which will be here. This will come off. Now because I have this, it goes +1, but because he has this, it's canceling it out. So he is only flipping over 1 card again. And he loses 1 troop. And he goes up by 1. Okay, so we have now hit the end of this. So we will, in this case, we will not be doing income, but we still will be doing claim the throne. So first we'll check for my ruling. I rule in 1, 2, 3, 4 lands, so that will move me up. He rules in 1, 2, 3, 4 lands, and that's where he's at. Moving for building, for adjacency, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 adjacent, so I do finally move up on that track. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 adjacent, so he will move up on that track. For goods on a boat, he has 4 and I have 3, so no change there, and the warfare stays as it is. So now that we've done that, we will actually just check for final scoring. Now for him, he will be getting points for these piles of coins in a 3-to-1 ratio. So I will go ahead and stack these into stacks of 3 to see how he's done there. It looks like he is getting 4 points. The reason for this is it offsets the fact that I do these. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. So that's going to give him 4 points there. Then he's going to get 9, looks like 12, 13, and he is in first place, so he will receive 16 points. For me, I am going to check first this. I have most troops in the most lands. I am present in have troops in the most. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am in 5 lands. He is in 1, 2, 3, 4. So I did end up winning that battle. Wow. So that's going to give me those 2. So that's going to give me 2, 4, 5. So I have 5 here. I do not get points for my coins. 5, and then I'm going to get 6 points. So that's 11, 12, and then 13. So that is our final score. The AI, the Rebellion, wins 16-13, so a little closer than I thought based on that first round, but overall not bad. Now, I may have broken a rule here or there, I may have messed up a few things, but it's a little harder to do these when I'm having to walk through them. But overall, I really like this game solo. I've played this game several times with multiple people, and I really enjoy it that way. But I get the same feeling when I'm playing this solo, especially the way these cards work. I love this because I don't know what he's going to do. I know based on this an idea of what he might do, but I really don't know what he's going to do. And I just realized that he would not have been flipping cards here when he's attacking, so actually he would have those. But it doesn't change the score. I don't know what he's going to do because the way these cards work, this really is a really elegant system for solo. I really enjoy that. I think his ability here, if there's no rebel troops in his land, mustering one, I'm not sure that does anything. I've now done 3 or 4 solo games. I haven't seen that ever happen, but his ability for flipping one less card when he attacks definitely happens quite a bit. Overall, I think this game really works well solo, and it definitely scratches the itch of wanting to play this with multiple people. If this is something that interests you, either playing with multiple players or just playing this solo, go ahead and check out their Kickstarter link in the comment below in the description. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I did play things a little messy at points, and this was not my best run through, but I hope it's given you an idea of not only how the game plays, but how it plays solo, and whether or not it might be a good game for you by yourself or you and your game group. And as always, I look forward to seeing you folks in the next episode.